Hello, all you hardcores out there. How you doing? It's Rusty from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things in here that nobody dare say. Today I'm joined by James. How you doing, James?
I'm very good, mate. I've got a bit of a cough, which I've taken cough mixture for. But if I start coughing, you're gonna have to just tell me, like, take my head off. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, I'm all right.
Good man. Good man. Straight into action then. Did you see Flex on his interview with Horsecock talking to that copper on Boxing King Media in that car showroom saying Greg Marriott, the nutrition man, uh, went to Morecambe to see Fury, and he went along for the ride. What? He's going to go there and back 8 hour drive, and all talking nonsense there out of his day, right? Just to talk to Fury, a lunatic. We are wanting to train him. What do you think to that? Is he hovering
Well,
about
that
for?
was
Is he hovering around for crumbs because he's got no fighters? Yes or no?
that was going to be my exact point. But you put an end. Well, you put the exclamation point on that. It's clearly gone. You don't travel all that way to just exchange pleasantries, do you?
No,
You
you
know
don't.
what I
You
mean?
could expect. Well,
He's not really got he's not really got anyone on the scene at the moment, has he? Like you said, so you're going to travel all that way for a few quid. 200. Well, I don't know the figures, but I can't imagine he'll be getting a percentage fee. But say if you get 200 grand for a fight, it's a lot better than a kick in the knackers, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he's going to do whatever he can to sort of sell himself, isn't he?
Flex, I know you're watching Flex, and let me just say this to you, right? You've gone out there with your mate. Oh, let's have it right. If he's this big nutrition man, it didn't work in Usyk fight, did it? So it didn't work for Kell Brook when he was running around saying Kell's a beast at 160. Kell's now a beast back at 147. It didn't work in them fights, did it? So let me just say this to you, Flex. Why couldn't you just stay at home in Sheffield and Greg Marriott pass his phone to Fury if you wanted to exchange pleasantries? You went there hanging around Morecambe like a bad smell because you wanted to train the Gypsy King. Why don't you admit it? Do you know what I mean? These people, they can't help themselves. And all he's done for the last 6 months is blow smoke up Fury's rear end. It's embarrassing, man. Absolutely embarrassing from Flex. The Flexinator. The gym is that way, and the job centre's that way, kid. Pop, pop, bang. What do you think to that?
King of the cookbook, isn't he?
We
I mean,
know
yeah,
the king of the cookbook.
well, he is, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? I need to get on it. Look at me. Look at me, Russ. I'm the new Porky, like I said to you. Can't really say much, but yeah, King of the Cookbook, and I don't understand it either. I don't know why there's all this closeted rubbish. Like we're gonna sit there and compliment each other. Like at the end of the day, he was the heavyweight champion of the world. There's no shame in turning around and saying, "Look, it'd be an honour to train you." Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. There's all this backslapping going on. It's all over the industry, and we've discussed it before. Everyone in the media loves each other, but then slag each other off.
Right.
So,
I'm going to dig a few of them out now, right? Let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you the story, kid. We know who Bombay Dave is, don't we?
of course, we do. It's only
When Mark Tibbs had Dylan White, they had 11 fights, 11 wins together. But after he'd had about 7, 8 fights with Tibbo, every show, every matchroom show, in that right, Bombay Dave, every matchroom show, Bombay Dave would make a big fuss of Dylan White. And he'd tell him we were doing great and all that and blah. And if he ever needed any advice and all that to pop and see him, he didn't want to tread on Tibbo's toes and all that. And this was going on for a while. And then when Dylan White did leave Tibbo and he got his first defeat, guess who were in the corner?
well, yeah,
Bombay Dave.
yep.
This is what happens, you see. We trainers, they align themselves with certain promoters and they think they're going to get crumbs because they can't get it on their own ability. So what they do, they lick arse. Now, you've seen him licking arse with his prediction that, yeah, Bivol won by a mile. I agree with Eddie Hills. Look, this is what they do. Eddie's probably laughing his knackers off at them, but I feel I have to pull them up on it because some of the things that I see, I look for it all the time. Me, I look, and you know what? Joe G looks, right? You know, when he's with his fighters, some trainers don't even let the fighters talk to other trainers. Now, what they do, they slink into the DMs and give him a bit of praise and say you're doing great, this and that, and we your trainer and all that. But if you ever need any advice, and they'll come out with stuff like, I've always respected you. And Flex is just playing the game, aren't you, Flexy? Flexy, where's your fighters? Where's Willie Hutchinson? What are you going to do? Dig Barry and Kell up? Oh my God. What next? Junior Witter, Pelly Reid? Do me a favour and stop it, Flex. Stop. Stop. Go and get somebody from debut. All the way to Morecambe. You can't be that busy. Gee, all the way to Morecambe. Wait, nutrition guy. What? He's not even started his camp. Just chatting a load of shit. Jeez, listen. For 6 months, all I've seen him do is hang out at back of Fury. And all he's saying in every interview is, anyone fit? For me, he's got ability to do all that. You just want fit. Why don't you just say that you can get him fit? That's all you can say. Probably can. But come out and say it. Don't beat about the bush. Going on fucking massive road trips to Morecambe. Who wants to go to Morecambe from Sheffield? For what? For what? To sit in Greg Marriott's motor? Load of shit. Hanging out at back of Fury. For some of that Bunsen burner. Get a grip of yourself. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you finished now, mate? Are you happy?
Yeah, I've got it off my chest now.
Top man.
It's just that, you know, when they come out in these interviews, look, they're hovering around for crumbs, aren't they? This is what they do. Look, they're hovering around. Instead of just coming out and saying, look, I'd love to train Tyson Fury because I know I'm going to get paid. You're not going to get 10%, kid. Oh, chance. But they get paid.
No.
Instead of just saying it, what they beat about, there was where I popped over to see him and I hardly fucking knows him. Do me a favour, man. Jeez. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no shame in wanting to train the ex-heavyweight champion in the world.
Say it.
Yeah.
And say it.
Nigel Benn, years ago, I'm not linking this to Peter the Freitas, but years ago, slightly different scenario, but Nigel Benn on Sky Sports, he come out and just said, I'd love to fight Roy Jones. He's the best fighter in the world. Yeah, I'd probably get beat. He frightens me. At the end of the day, it's a big assignment. Do you know what I mean? There's no shame in it. You want to share the ring with the best, do it in a training capacity or a fighting capacity. Yeah, we don't need to kiss ass, do we? Just come out and say it. I agree with you. Too much of it.
Too much of it, mate. And this is what we've got here. People aligning themselves with certain fighters or trying to get in the mix. There's too much of it going on in the sport. You know what I mean? Everybody's an expert, aren't they? Jeez. Do you know what I mean? What's up with Sugar Hill? I thought they were the dream team. Or is he down the road now and are they auditioning trainers? I don't know, but does Fury need to get fit? Well, wasn't Fury telling us he was stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet? And didn't you, Greg Marriott, turn around and say you've never seen him looking so great? Well, he didn't look that great, blowing out of his arsehole and taking rounds off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unbelievable that these people are running over to Morecambe and he hasn't even started his camp. Because they're sweating, they want to be in the mix for the dough. Big John Fury's right. You know what? I don't agree with Big John Fury that much because he tells that many whoppers, but he was right about all that lot. They just want that off Tyson, don't they? That's all they want. They want the kudos, don't they? And hanging around with the champ. Bit like that. Who is it? What's he called? Asgar. Who's always putting stupid posts out about Tyson Fury and John Fury. Have you seen him, that Asgar?
No, I've not seen him. That's why I did the funny look. Who's he?
From Derby, isn't it? He is a proper licker. Asgar, you licker. Do you know what I mean?
From Derby?
From Derby, yeah, he's a licker, mate. These people can't lie straight in bed. And I feel I need to pull them up on it. So, Flex, I told you before and I'll tell you again. When the ice breaks, I'll be waiting. And it's just broke again, Flexy, baby.
King of the cookbook. King of the cookbook.
King of the cookbook. Oh, my God. Walking around in a body warmer with a sticker salary. Gee. Hey? Unbelievable. What would happen if he trained Fury and there were another dope allegation against one of Flex's fighters. Oh my God. Do you know what I mean?
Well, could happen, couldn't it? Could happen. Just get Kid Galahad's brother involved with his special milkshakes. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. We know, don't we?
it would be a bad move for Tyson Fury, really, if you're looking at it from that perspective, because there's already been a bit of mud slung at him, hasn't there? But I want to see Tyson. Really, if you want to, if you want a new trainer, which I don't really see the point of, to be honest, keep it stable. Go with Pat Barrett. Pat Barrett wouldn't take any of John Fury's shite. And I think he could teach Tyson a thing or two. He's a teacher. There's not many of them around in boxing. Do you know what I mean? And they've worked together. Well, they've worked together before. Tyson's done a bit with him before in his early career. So there'd be no sort of like getting to know each other period. I think that would be a good move, personally. But keep
Yeah.
Sugar Hill in the corner for me. But if you want to explore alternatives, go a bit more grassroots and someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Moving on from the adventures of Tintin. Right. Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron. What did you make of it, James?
It reminded me very much of 2016 fight between Anthony Ogogo, who was I think he was a silver medalist, wasn't he?
Bronze
Olympic,
medalist. Bronze.
bronze. Yeah, I stand corrected. Bronze medalist, and he fought Cunningham, didn't he? Craig Cunningham, and he got stood on his head.
Yeah.
Liam Cameron was very, very similar in that role. Adopting the jab, pushing forward. He just wasn't allowing Ben, the opportunity to do all that showboating and getting into his head. I thought, yeah, it was great. Close the distance. Don't give Ben Whittaker the range because he's a really tall fighter.
Yeah.
And good luck. Good fair play to Liam. Do you know what I mean? He looks like he's really grown into the weight. And hopefully he gets a nice Indian summer. In terms of going over the top rope, I didn't realise we was watching the bloody Royal Rumble. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was a boxing match. I think it was contrived. Because if you watch it, he sort of looks up as if like he's looking at cameras or something to see angles or where he's going to fall, and then suddenly goes right out. I thought it was a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's an easy get out clause, isn't it? And then you throw a wheelchair in the mix. No one can really say anything then, can they? Oh, like he's disabled. Oh, I know, I got a blue badge, Russ. So we know what that's all like, So yeah, I just thought it was a shower, absolute shower of shite, to be honest. And I'm hoping that he gets the rematch. I mean, he signed with Warren, and Warren's going to chase after that, isn't he? And be a nice little Saudi payday in it for him. So fair play, he's making up for that 4 years, isn't he, Liam?
4.5 years to fight for.
Well, yeah, there you go. So, I don't think he's going to get to the top of the sport, but if you can make a few quid and resolve a few of those differences that you had back then, fair play to you. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to Liam Cameron. He needs to learn a little bit about loyalty. He won't very loyal to Chris Smedley, but that's another story. That'll all come out in the wash. Right. Ben Whittaker, obviously, in my opinion, but not Terry's, he quit. Do you think he did?
I don't really. I know this sounds like a diplomatic answer, but because I've never been able to box myself, I don't like using that label because it's like, who the hell are you saying that? I don't think he. In fact, no, Soddy, you've said it. I'm willing to take the flak. Yeah, he found a way out, didn't he? He had a way out. But I saw that about the referee and what the referee said. He should have only gone to the cards in the result of a head clash. So it looks like somebody might have had a little word behind their back, either before the fight in case of any issues, or someone sort of tapped him on the back and just said, "Yeah, go to the cards." So really, Liam should have won that fight.
Well,
and
yeah.
There you go. Go on.
Adrian Mole's come out explaining about why Ben Whittaker didn't want to carry on, but do you think a lot of them are just skirting around the issue? Like Bean, you saw Bean on Talksport, didn't you? Going into bat for Ben Whittaker, but that's because Whitaker's deal's coming up with Sky, and Bean will want him with GMB, won't he, for Izzy?
Yeah, of course he will. Yeah, and again, it's a case of backslapping. Too much of it going around. But the thing is, with the backslapping, you got to look at where the money is. They always say follow the money, don't they? And they would have invested in Ben Whitaker, so they're going to do anything they can. And this goes back to fight night last week. They're going to do anything they can to save him. So yeah, I mean, he might have thrown it, but they would have given him every opportunity to save that zero, because zero in boxing, unfortunately, means big money, doesn't it? So yeah, a lot of backslapping going on. You wouldn't get the same level of backslapping for Liam Cameron, would you? So
Liam were there just at B side, wasn't he?
yeah, of course he was. Yeah, same with Craig Cunningham against Anthony Ogogo that I mentioned before. You know, you always get that, don't you? What was that Scouse lad called as well years ago? Mashadod, when he fought the
Dodd
likes of
from
yeah, when he fought
Birkenhead.
when he fought the likes of Tom Stalker, and he did fight Tom Stalker. No, not Tom Stalker. What
Master
was he
Dodd was a
called?
good fighter, wasn't
Yeah, but he was with the lad who Gallagher trained. I can't remember his name, but he had
he?
like a
Scotty
bit of Olympic
Cardle.
pedigree. Yeah, Scotty Cardle. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. There was no glamour with Masha Dodd, was there? But he was a good, honest pro, and you sort of got the impression that, like, yeah, Scotty Cardle, like he would have got all the favours, wouldn't he, if Masha Dodd wasn't so dedicated and going forward the way he did. It's all about the money, Russ. That's all it is.
Yeah, I spoke with somebody the other day about this, and it's starting to worry me in the sport now that there's an A side and a B side, and B side's really got to knock them out to get a draw.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony, sorry. We'll stay on the Saudi show.
Okay.
Big Freeze and Fabio. What did you make of it?
Very, very impressed. I was impressed with Fabio, but just because I actually come out and I said I thought Big Freeze would win that fight. Because I'd actually said if you can't turn it on with the amateur pedigree you've got and make round 13 into a bit of a boring encounter, then you shouldn't be there. Fabio just threw that script out the window, didn't he? And like the dent in the side of the head, I think really if you're ringside, it would have been quite worrying. He looked like he'd had a stroke. Fair play to him. He's come out and he said, like, oh, I'm not going to retire. I get a bit bored of that now. Like, everyone turning around and going retire as soon as there's a loss. But if he'd have turned around and said, I'm going to retire, you wouldn't have blamed him, because he did. He looked like he was all over the shop, didn't he?
Yeah, but James,
Had an operation.
he's 34 next birthday, Freeze. He won't fight again this year. He's 34 next summer. And
Yeah.
he's had 10 fights. He's not getting any younger. He's actually got miles on the clock from all amateur experience, hasn't he? Do you think his body might be shutting down now? Plus, he carries a lot of timber, Freeze, doesn't
he? Yeah, he does. He does. When you put it like that, especially with the amateur experience, like if someone has a word in their ear, it would be sensible for him to say, don't carry on. But he's actually said, look, and I know they all say it, but he said it after getting absolutely smashed. He said the camp was the best I've had. I just was unlucky. I didn't defend myself. Fair play to Wardley. If he wants to give it one more go, give it one more go. Just keep him away from the likes of Moses Artauma. Do a bit of a David Price. Do you know what I mean? Ease him back in slowly and just see what he's got left. There's plenty of shit down at British level that he could just, share the ring with. Get him in with Joe Joyce. That'd be entertaining, wouldn't it? Not.
Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
Listen to this, right? I look at Joe Joyce now, and I think he's 40 next birthday. I wonder what's happened to him. And I look at Derek Chisora, 13 losses. He's 41 in November next month. And Derek's like just going from strength to strength with all his losses, isn't he? So why are they all saying Joyce has washed up and Joshua's washed up? Look at Derek Chisora, he's got a new lease of life, hasn't he?
He's got more personality than Joyce, though, hasn't he? I mean, I like Joyce as a person, as a boxer. Like I don't know, he's just like Matalan man, isn't he? Just dead boring, you know, flat pack sort of. Oh yes, thank you, Mr. Eastwood. Do you know what I mean? That sort of personality. Everything's absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
And that's why Derek Chisora gets a chance because he can sell out sort of venues on his personality, and he's a bit feral, isn't he? If Joe Joyce had come in and started chucking tables about and kicking people, and he glassed me, and all that, then we'd be having the same conversation, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would, mate. We would.
Yeah.
Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman. What did you make of that?
Again, I've sort of said I'm not a massive lover of women's boxing, but I did sort of peruse that. Yeah, good little good little boxing display really from Nicholson, and she's very brazen, and she's saying future undisputed, but she's good, like nice wide stance, sort of fencing with it, but you're not going to get the knockout displays, but her boxing ability is she's very capable, so be interesting to see where she goes, and if she is Eddie Hearn's little bit of fluff. You know what I mean? She's got all the opportunities coming to her in the world, isn't she? So
Yeah, she has. Yeah. Chris Eubank against that other dude. What did you make of that?
shit, really, wasn't it? It was just like that. That's something I want to say as well. That like it brought the whole tone of the show down. All that after he's gone in and absolutely destroyed that Zerametta, who really shouldn't have been in the ring with him. Then you had all this WWE crap. It's like I'm gonna coin a phrase that I heard earlier in the week. Conor Benn gets in the ring. Be careful what you wish for, son, because Chris Eubank Jr. might not be on the top rung of the ladder, but he's certainly, particularly without the eggs, he's certainly going to do a number on Conor Benn.
Yeah, he'll easily do a number on Conor Benn. He'll just keep it under his jab on you all night. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But it's annoying me because Eddie Hill's like, it's funny, isn't it? How they had a camera there. They had a camera there when it was all kicking off. It was all bloody stage managed, and like it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing because whatever you want to say about Turkey and all that, it was a good show. It was a good show. The atmosphere again left a lot to be desired. But like, keep it to boxing. It's not bloody sports entertainment. If you want to get Vince McMahon involved, then we'll have all these stupid like, it sounds like a kid from the playground, Conor Benn, doing his fake Essex accent. He's never lived in Essex in his life. He was a bloody Spanish private educated posh boy, wasn't he? And suddenly now he's a roadman killer. Get off me TV. I don't want the fight to happen. He doesn't deserve a payday. He's a cheat. And I hope if they do get in the ring, I hope that Eubank pulverizes him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be cheering, mate.
What did you think to the WWE-ness of it all when Ben bounced into him? We could see it was going to happen, couldn't we?
Yeah, well, I literally wanted him to take a chair shot across the nut. Do you know what I mean? Go full pelt if we're going to do it. I can't stand him. Never ever been able to stand him. He absolutely destroyed an old mate of mine from school as well. Um, yeah, in like his second or third fight. And the guy couldn't box eggs at that point, ironically. So yeah, I've never had a soft spot for him. They called him the Destroyer. Absolute shite, and his personality's just got worse and worse. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to feel warm about, is there? Do you know what I mean? Even the way, and I can't stand Gareth A. Davis, but even the way like he was towards Gareth A. Davis and all that, and like I know the Gad was he was a bit of a knob with him, but like, how do you expect him to behave? You're a cheat.
Yeah.
You're a cheat. I've
Yeah.
no interest in him whatsoever. Keep him out of the ring. Same with Garcia as well. Anyone like that. We're in a profession of violence. If you go out and you Michael Watson or you Gerald McClellan someone, oh, you're a big man then, aren't you? Well, no, it's not right, is it? Quite passionate on that, Russ. Sorry, send you to sleep.
No, you're not, mate. I'm just fucking resting my eyes there, mate. I was just thinking about something there, actually.
I am boring,
Okay.
though.
R2 Beta Beef against Bivol, mate. What do you
Draw.
think of it?
I had it as a draw, and I watched it. I watched it again for the second time before I come on today.
Yeah.
And I scored it a draw. It was very much. I hate to use the cliche, but it was very much a fight of two halves, if you know what I mean. I had
Yeah.
Bivol just bossing the first half of
No,
the
in it,
fight.
was there really, was there?
No, not really, no.
Was it a
And
robbery, James? Yes or no? Hills is squealing
no,
robbery, and so's Bombay Dave.
no, certainly not. He's thrown around too much. See, the perfect way to judge a fight, in my opinion, is treat every single round as if it's a separate fight. Don't
Yeah.
worry about what comes before. And yeah, I had it as a draw. Arthur Beterbiev finished stronger on the back end. I wouldn't argue either way. It's what you like, but that is what the problem is with boxing. There's no uniform scoring criteria, really. It is just what you like. It's not like with the UFC, where it's like you'll score points because of this, you'll score
Yeah.
points because of that, and that's what they need to get together. If the Saudis are going to do anything better for the sport, then they need to have a look at that. Throw the money at the judging, throw the money at the corruption, and just get it all away. I don't think that was corrupt, though. I think it was a very high level fight. I was a bit frustrated at Bivol because I felt like he was taking centre ring, but he wasn't actually taking centre ring for the reason that he needed to take centre ring, if you know what I mean. He's the mover in that fight, and Beterbiev's the terminator. If you're going to take centre ring as Bivol, then you need to back away. Do you know what I mean? You need to back away, but still utilise the jab. There's too many times where he's standing centre ring and trying to be macho. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to be macho with Beterbiev when he's got all that space behind him. Just start moving.
Eddie Hill
And I think he
says
threw round away.
that, yeah, Eddie Hill says it were a robbery, but I thought Ricky Burns and Beltram were a robbery
Yeah,
on an Eddie Hill
Jack
show,
Catterall.
but I didn't hear Eddie mentioning out about Beltram being robbed.
No, well, he won't, will he? There's been proper. I'll show you proper robberies in boxing. Robin Reed, Sven Otka is the
Yeah.
worst robbery I've ever
Macklin
seen.
against Martinez against Martin Murray in Argentina.
Yeah, exactly.
They were robberies,
So
weren't they? Macklin
yeah,
and Murray never won a world title because they were robbed, didn't they? Weren't they, basically?
yeah,
Carl
basically, yeah,
Thompson against Horsecock.
yeah.
Remember that
Ray
one? Remember
Close.
that one?
Yeah, no, I don't remember that one. But Ray Close against Chris Eubank, that was another one.
Yeah, yeah. Dan Sherry against Eubank.
Yeah, it's all over. But you got to give it to Eddie Hills, right? Because we can moan and say, oh, he's bleating and moaning. He's doing what he's supposed to do. If it was the other way around and he was Beterbiev's promoter, he'd be applauding Beterbiev. For me, even though I think he's a bit of a knobhead, he's the best promoter in the world, and I genuinely think he could work for the government as the bloody spin doctor for the prime minister, because he could sell sand to the Arabs. You know what I mean? He's not worried about it either, is he?
No, Eddie's a brass. He'll come out and he'll say, when Turkey says jump, I say how high. He does that to take sting out of everybody saying you're a brass. So he brasses himself and laughs about it and laughs at himself. Eddie, you know you're a brass. You know you sell your man for a pound note. That's what these people are. But when I pull
Yeah,
it up on them, Pokey, you're a hater. Pokey, you're a hater. No, no, no. Anybody who criticizes Eddie Hills or his fighter, Big Meat, who just got let out of jail in America yesterday, Big Meat, Anthony Joshua. Anybody
he
who
hasn't.
criticizes them, the haters like the Cobras pulled him up on a few things, and he's a hater all of a sudden. Oh, is it you're a hater, Froch. Do you know what I mean? Where he just tells it straight,
Yeah,
Carl, doesn't
and you got a nice little shout out as well, didn't you?
he? Yeah, well, he needs to have me on his channel, doesn't he? Or I'll come and see him. Cobra,
Yeah, definitely.
get me on your channel. I'm gonna put one there and test that beard.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Be nice
well,
to see that.
yeah, I'll be on that channel. I'll be on his channel soon. It's just a case of fitting it in and how we're going to work it and that. So, because he's got a bit of OCD, Carl, he likes everything to be bang on, and so. But me on there once a month would do massive numbers, wouldn't it, kid?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Have we missed any fights out on that show? I don't think we have we?
No, but I don't think
Oh, we
so. But
have,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
some.
J.O.
Oh,
Patia against Jack Massey.
how could you forget that? the new maestro. And yeah, he just picked Massey apart. Massey didn't particularly do anything wrong. It was just a case of levels, wasn't it? And I like both guys, so do you know what I mean? I weren't really. I know I should go for the Englishman. I weren't really fussed who won because I think Opetaya is he's a maestro and he's beautiful to watch at times. Yeah, and just another brutal display. I want to see him. I want to see him wrap it up at cruiserweight. So, you know, when Chris Billam-Smith fights, and hopefully he comes through that, and I want to see Opetaya just absolutely wrap the division up. I'm not a nationalist really. I just go for who I think's a decent guy, and that's why I think Usyk's the best in the world, and he's my favourite. So yeah,
Okay.
so Opetaya, he's, he's the dogs. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on. No, you were saying, you know.
No, I was just saying, I think he's the dogs, and he's the natural successor to Usyk at that weight, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's a southpaw. He can box. He can fight. He can do everything. So yeah,
Plus, he
very
wants
happy with that.
Walker's corner.
Yeah, of course he does. There's another one with the shout out, wasn't
And
he?
Joe
Yeah,
Parker does.
does he?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, well,
Are you finished?
I'm finished. Go on.
We're going to finish off on Ben Shalom, aka Adrian Mole. Is he being squeezed out at Sky, made to look stupid by Bricktop and Hills? I'm not going to call him Eddie Hills no more. I'm just going to call him Hills in the blue corner from Billericay, the 6-0 Iceman. Eddie Hills! Hills! Right. Is Adrian Mole being squeezed out by the big two? Yes or no at Sky?
Yeah, yeah. And it isn't even a case of like
They're not even
Frank
hiding it,
Warren.
are they? What's going on?
It's
Everybody in the
bullying.
industry knows. All you YouTubers and media know, but you didn't say a word. Come on, come out. Ask the proper questions. You've all got fucking access and talk sport. Don't say a word because they don't want to be seen as backstabbing a young lad in front of that turkey guy. Look, everybody knows what's happening. Queensbury and Matchroom are after Sky and they want a date every week between them. Everybody knows about it. So why are they not pushing it, James? Why not?
Well, because you know it's the big dogs in the yard, isn't it? I want to praise the Asylum because I'm pretty sure it was the Asylum that did bring it up. I know you're a fan of Boxing Asylum as
Yeah,
well,
I
Ross.
brought it up months ago, but yeah, go on. They can piggyback off my word.
No, no, I know that. I'm just saying
Yeah, go on.
other channels. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I just think it's bullying. It's not like Ben's got the reputation that you know he's not got the reputation, has he? So they've not got a gang up on him really. Just like the product speaks for itself. I don't think Shalom's been that great at Sky personally. I mean, he's tried his best, but I think with all the money that he's got, and again, he's had a bit of a charisma. He needs a charisma transplant, doesn't he? Unfortunately, that's what boxing is nowadays. You need to be as out there as the fighters, which I think is a load of crap. But that's why you've got the likes of Eddie Hills just doing his window salesman acts and all that. But to me, yeah, it's just pure bullying. And to be fair, fair play to Ben Shalom for standing up for himself because he has done this week. And he, you know, he's come out and he's sort of stuck it to Frank a little bit, and Frank's on with that bloody Charlie Parsons, and he do me a favour and all that crap. It's just
What
stupid.
crisps? Favourite crisps?
Yeah, like Monster Munch and all that crap. Like,
Salt and vinegar chipsticks, he said, didn't he?
yeah, let like you don't need to push him out. Let the product speak for itself. And personally, I don't think the product over at Sky is very good. Like Adam Azim's fighting this weekend, right? He was like the next big thing, wasn't he? But to be honest with you, I've not really seen much of that. I only really knew about it earlier this week, and like, whereas you know, if that was Hearn, it would be all over the media, wouldn't it? So really, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but Ben Shalom, once that contract's up, you know, they could naturally just go, look, we'll have the dates between you. You don't need to bully a lad who's trying to make it. Just Wankers, not swearing.
Yeah, as Adrian Mole got his work cut out with Big Freeze and Ben Whittaker, Olympic medalists, but they're not what they've cracked up to, are they?
No, well, it's not. It's not him that's got his work cut out. It's them. They need to prove that they're ready for this level. I think what Whitaker needs to do, he needs to get rid of Joby Clayton. Um, another sort of glamour trainer, and then maybe commit to somebody who'll be a bit more of a boss with him. Someone that will sort
Big
of,
Free, does Big Freeze need to get rid of Angel Fernandez, whatever it's called?
I would. Well, he needs to maybe tighten up his defence. Yeah, I would say so. I'd say so. It's a shame Manny Stewart's not alive because
Mm.
Manny Stewart would have sorted Big Freeze, wouldn't he? But yeah, I mean, who's the Sugar Hill? I don't really see as the natural successor to his uncle, really, in terms of style and stuff like that. He needs someone who can teach him to fight big and use the jab and use all those tools that would have been honed as an amateur. And I don't really know who that would be at this moment in time. But you made a good point before, Russ. He's an old man in boxing terms. He has got miles on the clock because of his amateur experience. Maybe like stay at British level, see if you can rack up some wins. But if you're not feeling confident, call it a day. Do you know what I mean?
Is Sugar Hill, Manny Stewart, is Flex Ingle, Dominic Ingle? No, they're not, are they?
No.
The relatives of them trainers, aren't they? Son and nephew and that. But it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? People are gonna make their own assumptions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, listen, thanks for coming on, James. Nice to have you on. What we got left? Yeah, we're all done.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's been a
Birthday
pleasure.
6 hours, isn't it, kids? So
Yeah.
start
Well,
a bit.
don't do anything I wouldn't do, mate, and that leaves very little wiggle room, I tell
What?
you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. That means you can do anything you want.
I could do anything I want. I'm 54 in 6 hours, and let me tell you this: I have always done everything I want. I've always said what I wanted to do, gone where I've wanted to do, and done what I wanted to do. And I believe that you stand by your own convictions. That's probably why I spent all that time doing porridge in my younger years.
Very possibly. But, you're doing all right now, aren't you, mate? All
Just a
the
little
best to you.
bit. All right, man. Listen, James. Nice to have you
Yeah,
on. You're a top man. I hope you like your picture on commission.
I do. I loved it, mate. Me ego. Yeah, it's sorted. Thank you, mate. Take care.
Take care, James. Cheers, mate. Bye
Bye,
bye.
mate.
Well, that was James from Essex. Women love him, men want to be him. Now living in Salford. Good luck with that one, mate. That's about it. Big shout out to my mate Frank in Bury on his way back from Turkey. You were dazzling me, Frank, with that smile. Dazzling me, lad. All right. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I will be back, hopefully, Sunday night, if not Monday night, with Andy, who's not from Aberdeen. Other than that, I'm going to have a good weekend now because I've worked my knackeroons off all week. Big shout out to Terry Chapanama. Hope you well, Terry. Go booyaka.